There's a little town that has a tourist attraction that is a cat, and it's Fat Cat. That's their name for it, Fat Cat.
Okay, like a statue?
No, a real kitty cat. Of course, he's not a kitty cat. I mean, he's a cat. He's a big old boy.
So he's done some eating.
He's done some eating. And I love that he's actually a little healthier because he's a homeless cat. He doesn't have a family, but the town has kind of adopted him and they feed him.
Oh, best life ever.
Best life,
right?
Because he's got the love from everybody in the town rather than just the one family. But they have made like a little shelter for him.
Good.
He is now a tourist attraction. Okay, this cat's name is Gatsick. It sounds like Gas X, but
Gas X?
Yeah,
like the pill you take when you have a little bit of gas?
When you have a little tummy, you got to keep at bay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because you don't want to go out in public and smell things up.
So people now are coming from around the world when they come to this part of the world. They seek him out because he has a video that has gone viral, and they search him out. So he is the town's tourist attraction. So when people, like family comes to visit in this little town, they're like, you have to meet Gatsick, the cat.
And they bring him by to see.
And people do, and they take their picture with him, and he's okay with it. You know.
I wonder what his Google review is.
Does he have a Google review? I bet it's good. I bet because he's just a sweet little fat cat.
Okay, there you go.
You're listening to Rob and Lizz in the morning.
His radio.
So if you go on vacation, you happen to go to Poland, there's this town with a 5-star tourist attraction, and it's a fat cat. Mm-hmm. 5-star tourist attraction. It's got 5-star reviews on Google.
Well, I mean,
seriously, this cat does.
It's a fur baby, so you automatically just kind of love it. And then it's sweet, and it is very friendly, and it welcomes everybody that comes to town. So it's the tourist attraction.
I don't know if you're thinking about summer vacation. Spring break's right around the corner, and where are you going on vacations? Yeah. And if you've never been somewhere, for me it was Paris, France, and I was able to go with my wife last year.
Right.
See a little bit of the Tour de France, which that was amazing. Absolutely amazing.
So what was the other tourist attraction, Rob, that you saw that you came back with like, wow, that really does live up to it?
I don't know if it lived up to it because I didn't know what to expect, but we did go out to Normandy and saw the beaches of Normandy. So that was really good.
Oh, fun stuff.
Mason's here about a vacation he'd like to take at 800-447-7234. What is it, Mason?
I want to take a trip to Japan because I train in jiu-jitsu and katana and would love to go see a country where it originates from and see all what it's like to be in Japan. And I also would love to take my wife as well and be able to show her all the cool and interesting things that Japan has to offer.
You're listening to Rob and Lizz in the morning.
His radio.
Cutest little girl you've ever seen at 4 years old in a tutu. It's Rob and Lizz in the morning, his radio. As a matter of fact, she's the smartest 4-year-old, too. She's in this tutu. She's in the kitchen. She goes, "Oh, the air fryer is on fire. Let me go alert my family." And she did.
Yeah, she did. It's cute because she's just sort of traipsing around. She got a little ballet outfit on, and then she comes in the kitchen, very observant, and knows exactly who to go to. She went straight to Daddy.
Went to Daddy. Now, you know what? I'm glad that Daddy listened because I would have seen my little daughter come in a tutu and go, "Oh, it's a fire," and then start dancing and stuff. I'm like, okay. But no, this dad went, "Oh, let me go see what's going on."
Well, I think she probably was a little more like, Dad, because she sort of was like kind of tapping her head at one point. Like she was nervous. Like, what do I do? Oh, my goodness. And so she takes off.
Yeah, and gets Dad.
Dad jumps into action.
Let me tell you, he is on. He's right on it. So he goes and looks like for the fire extinguisher. It's not there. So he picks up the air fryer, runs out the sliding glass door, throws it in the pool.
I mean, you got to do what you got to do. He barehanded it. He's barefoot. He has on like a tank top and shorts, and I'm sure he got burned a little bit. I don't think it was anything big, but I do think he got burned.
So his little girl saved the family.
Absolutely, because by the time she told him, it looked like there were some flames. By the time he got to it, it had really kind of exploded.
Oh, it burst out pretty bad.
Yeah. And so she was there at the right time, and so was Daddy.
Yeah, so their house is fine. Didn't go up in flames.
Nope.
and then had to clean the pool afterwards.
You're listening to Rob and Liz in the morning.
His radio.
This lady is a superhero. It's Rob and Lizz in the morning, his radio.
And you'll see why, because she's driving home. She sees on the side of the road, and she has to stop, a skunk with its head in an aluminum can.
Aw, poor thing.
Yes.
Aw, he was just trying to get his soda
And
on.
struggling. And so what does she do? She's so brave. Because all you see is the skunk of the body of a skunk with a head of a can now.
Yeah.
And so she runs to it, and she goes to help. Instead of taking off, because you know the inevitable is going to happen.
Oh, exactly. And you're showing me the video. You can see this, his radio TV. But when she pulls the can to try to get it off his head, like he gets pulled into the air and then he sort of falls back down.
He falls out. She runs.
Well, I think he's
Smart.
I think the tail came up.
It
and
did.
she
It's
knew-
like, you know what's about to happen.
Yeah.
But how brave. I mean, she literally stops. She gets out of the car. She walks over to it, pulls the can off. She does put gloves on.
I think the first time she didn't, and then she thought better of what was happening.
And they look like cooking gloves.
Well, who cares what?
You know?
It looks like almost Big Bird looking
Mm-hmm.
hands that she has on. But you know what? She got the can off, and he left. He was happy. I don't know. Did he spray? Do you know if he
No,
sprayed?
but I do know it was Dr. Pepper.
You're listening to Rob and Liz in the morning.
His radio.
So 2 goats and a Great Dane go into a Target. For real. These
crazy.
2 goats with a Great Dane that was behind them, these 2 goats make their way into Target and then start shopping.
Well,
It
of course.
seems like.
Of course they do.
They're all over the store. There's a Baba here and a Baba there. It's everywhere.
A Bob.
Yeah, and so all of a sudden now you got to get the goats out, right?
Well, you
They're
have
in
to.
Target.
Yeah.
They're causing a commotion. Everybody's looking at them. Aisle 7 needed to be cleaned up a couple of times.
Oh, I'm sure. And 8 and 9.
There was a mop.
Yeah.
At least they got the scoopers there for sale.
They do.
You know,
They're already
a little
equipped.
easier to clean up.
Good.
And so there's one guy shopping there. There's a couple of employees at Target. They're all trying to wrangle these things, get them out. Like they're goat herders. They did manage to get them out.
Oh, that's good.
And then the authorities show up, and they have the goats. They're in
Really?
a nice place, but they can't find the owners. Nobody in the community is going, yeah, they're mine.
Well, maybe.
Sorry they got out.
Maybe they messed some things up and they'll be held accountable. I mean, they were just there looking for the new spring merch. That's all they were doing.
You're listening to Rob and Liz in the morning.
His radio.
So when there's a teacher shortage at your high school, what's one of the best things to do? Ask your students to be the teachers.
Oh, yeah, that works. Sure.
I know. It makes you go, wait, what?
Yeah,
They're
a
not
little
even out of
scary.
high school just yet.
Yeah.
But check this out.
Okay.
This is Haines City High School. This is in Florida. And this teacher about 4 years ago, when there was a shortage that started to begin at his high school, he's like, I've got to do something here. So he tapped into the alumni network, and he started asking former students if they would consider.
Oh, look at him.
So here we are, 4 years later, right? And 35 of the school's 147 teachers are now alumni. 8 of those alumni are part-time substitutes. There are 3 that are classroom aides, and there are 3 that are secretaries that are on his staff right now.
That is a very cool idea.
And also, he starts recruitment when they're still students at the high school. So now he's placing juniors and seniors as directly working with teachers and custodians and secretaries. So if they want to pursue a career in teaching and education, they're getting a head start in it and kind of getting, on-the-job training in a sense.
A little bit, and getting their foot in the door because, when you go to college and you get the degree or you just decide to go to work right after high school, you need your foot in the door. You need a leg up to be able to work your way into it.
So a
He's giving
lot
them
of
that.
these students, at least 35 of them so far, went back to the high school to teach or work in some form or fashion.
Novel idea.
You're listening to Rob and Liz in the morning.
His radio.
Well, who's that sleeping in my bed? It's Rob and Liz in the morning, his radio. It's not Goldilocks, it's a pig. It's a pig on a muddy bed. For real.
Yeah. And honestly, the pig did not get the bed dirty. What happened was Michael and his family live in an area where there was a flood.
Yeah, sadly.
Yeah, came through and the water was rising. So Michael gets his family out, his wife, couple of kids. They get out through the roof and then they come back to check out the house.
Yeah, when things are better and they can get back into the house, they go through the house, they look through the bedrooms, and in one bedroom, there's a pig on a muddy bed.
And
literally.
Kind of taking a nap. He's chilling. He's like, look,
So
this is good.
You would think, we got to get this pig out of here. No, the pig's now a part of the family, and they named him Lucky.
Well, of course he's lucky. He was very happy to find that bed somewhere to stay because I'm sure his little legs have been treading water for a little while.
Yeah.
And then he just climbed up on the bed. But
They think he literally floated in there.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I can't imagine any other way. It's not like he was like, okay, I know there's a mattress in there, so I'm just going to and get over there. But, he's hanging out. They haven't tried to shoo him away and get him away from there.
He's a part of the family.
A part of the family. I don't think they're letting him sleep in the bed, though.
No, he's got his own bed. It's muddy.
I think they cleaned that up.
Okay.
You're listening to Rob and Liz in the morning.
His radio.
You know how Costco says hot dogs will never be over $1.50.
Yeah, for
right?
the combo.
For the whole combo
Yeah.
thing at Costco. Well, Waffle House said, hey, you know what? The price of eggs are going up, but so what? We're not going to raise our prices either.
Yes.
At the Waffle House. Because that's what? One of the main meals at the Waffle House is eggs something.
Yeah, I mean, you either get scrambled eggs or over easy or over medium or an omelet or they have all kinds of things you can do with eggs.
So you know what I heard?
Huh.
Scott, who does our news. Scott, you're in the newsroom. Scott,
Yeah.
remember when you and your wife came back from, what was it, Lebanon?
Yeah.
What was the first thing you guys had to do?
Stop at the Waffle House and have a juicy cheeseburger.
So you didn't have an egg, but you had cheeseburger.
Oh, my goodness. It was one of the best burgers I've ever had.
But why?
And it was like almost midnight. We got back to the airport, boom, straight to the Waffle House.
Why was it so good, though?
Priorities.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. So why was it so good?
Well, we had spent about a week in Beirut and eating all this Mediterranean food. It was really healthy and really good.
They came back 20 pounds lighter.
Came back and we were just in this mode where we were craving just something, greasy and juicy, just something unhealthy. And
Good
we
old
saw
American
the Waffle
food.
House. Yeah, good old American food. We saw the Waffle House and bam, that's where we
Went
went.
right in there.
We go to the waffle.
You're listening to Rob and Liz in the morning.
His radio.
Liz is hopping on a boat with her hubby next week and going on a cruise. How many days is it?
7.
I don't know the longest you've ever been on a cruise.
That's the longest we will have ever been.
For real,
I think-
7 days,
Yeah,
huh?
normally we do like a 4 or 5.
It's
day
Rob and
cruise.
Liz in the morning, his radio, 4 or 5. Not
Yeah.
7's the longest. Okay.
Yeah, 7 is long. And I think I would be stir crazy after about 7 days. I'd be like, I'm ready for land.
I can see that.
Yeah, I want to be in my own bed. So there's a new cruise line. I never heard of this thing before. It's called Victoria Cruises, and they are introducing probably what is going to be the longest cruise. Let me tell you what they're doing. They're going all over the world. So there's going to be like 200 different ports that this thing pulls into.
How many days is that? Sounds
Okay.
like months.
So there's going to be 540 days that are actually docked. The boat is actually on land.
Okay.
It's a 27-month cruise.
27 months.
That's over 2 years. That's over 2 years.
That's a long cruise. How
On a
can you
cruise.
get out of work that long?
I guess you have to work remotely, and Victoria Cruises, let me just talk to you for a second. You got to have some good Wi-Fi on this thing if you expect anybody, but
Sounds like you got to have a lot of time, too.
okay.
Oh, here it comes. Here it comes.
Hold on. I want you to hold on. Just grab hold of your seat right now. So an ocean view room. This is not a suite. This is not anything swanky.
Got to be millions.
It's $10,999
Oh,
a month.
a month.
A month.
I almost thought that was going to be the whole package.
No,
but
no.
a month.
And that does cover 2 people, so $5,500 a piece per month.
Oh, my word.
So I'm like, how many people can A, afford that, and B, take that kind of time?
There are people who can. There are people who can.
But do they want to be away for 2 months? Now, maybe they take their private helicopter and they land on the helipad.
You said 2
on top.
months. It's 27 months, right?
27 months, but it's 2 people for the $10,999 per month.
That's crazy.
27
Well,
months.
say, listen, there are people who can do it. Bless them.
Look, I was looking for like coupon codes so I could go.
You're listening to Rob and Liz in the morning.
His radio.
So there's a teacher who said if kids are hungry, they can't learn. Right? Amen to that. So he found that there were a lot of kids that were in debt at the school because of their lunch money. It had climbed to like $4,000 that these kids in this one school had accrued because they couldn't pay for their lunch.
That's a lot.
It's a lot of money. I mean, when you're thinking about what, $2 a day or something like that. So during the pandemic, these kids. There was no charge, right, for lunches in schools for a while. Well, after the pandemic and they were charged again, that's when the money started to accrue. So he does the 6-second video on social and people start donating. Well, the school lunch debt completely erased now.
Oh, for real?
Because people were like, absolutely.
Good for him.
Kids, because they weren't able to eat or they had to get that. And I don't know if this is still done because I don't have kids actually in the school anymore. But if you can't pay for your lunch, they gave you like a peanut butter and jelly sandwich and a milk. Like you didn't get the full. The other kids know immediately, oh, you couldn't pay for your lunch. You know, this kind of thing.
Oh, I get what you're saying.
Breaks my heart. Mm-hmm. Breaks my heart.
Because now you're singled out like, oh, he's got PB&J. He couldn't pay.
Right. Exactly.
Look at me. My mama gave me this.
Yeah, I was able to get an extra cookie. And so, because kids do that, I mean, unfortunately. And so I love that this teacher said, we got to do something about this and make sure that these kids can eat.
That means that they get their Friday pizza and corn.
Yes.
Yeah, which is Scott Watson's favorite lunch in school.
My favorite. Every Friday, pizza and the side of corn.
Why was it corn? Because I grew up in Florida. I went to school in Florida. We did have the cardboard pizza. It just tasted like cardboard to me with some cheese on it. Hey, I know you're from around here, and it's fancy around here in school.
It wasn't fancy.
With the pizza and corn.
It wasn't fancy, but it was good.
The pizza was awesome.
No.
Yeah,
And so was the corn. It was just a great pairing.
I don't know why. Why did they serve them together? And that whole half a pear with mayonnaise and cheese on it. Now that's the one that
mayonnaise and cheese on a pear.
Y'all need to take that out the recipe book.
Rob and Liz.
His morning crew.
So Scott earlier, who does our news, was talking about pizza and corn for lunch at school. It was like every Friday. Was that the deal?
Yep, every Friday. Pizza Friday. That delicious rectangle of goodness.
It fit right in the little lunch tray, and you never wanted to miss school on a Friday.
Now, what was this about? It was, you said something about, Liz said something about pears, and was it mayonnaise?
Listen, I don't even understand. There was a piece of lettuce, like iceberg lettuce, and then there was a half of a pear, a dollop of mayonnaise, and then cheddar cheese on top. Like, it got worse with each progression.
How does the pear get mixed in with mayonnaise?
I don't know. Some old Southern lady said, oh, this looks good. And her kids went, no, it doesn't. And she said, well, it's on the menu. So Shasta texted, and she said, pear salad, it's what it's called, very popular in my family. She said, I don't like pears, but gosh, my folks tear it up. I love that. She said it's a pear half, a huge glow of Duke's mayo, and I bet it is Duke's, and then fresh shredded cheddar.
What's a glow?
Like just a big old hunk of it.
So you just
because mayonnaise just shines.
Just shines.
It's just gross.
Rob and Liz.
His morning crew.
It's Rob and Liz in the morning, his radio. Who would have thunk that it's called pear salad, right?
I think it's called pear salad, yeah.
Pear salad, where it's a pear, and this comes from school, right?
It comes from school, yeah.
I don't know if it originated in the lunchroom at school or not, but it's pear with, what is it?
Mayo. It's a piece of lettuce,
Lettuce, pear, cheese. A slice of cheese?
No, like shredded cheddar.
It's shredded cheddar?
Yeah, and the mayo.
Is that how Scott had it? Is that how you had it, Scott? Shredded
I just remember
cheese?
having the pears with the cheese.
Sliced?
No mayo.
Sliced?
Yeah.
Sliced cheese.
And like the juice with a little bit of cheese.
Your school
top.
was real low maintenance there, buddy.
We weren't fancy. We didn't have the fancy mayo.
Yeah, but Scott was in honor classes, so that's
Okay.
different. That's different. You get a different kind of pear salad in an honors class.
Yeah, right.
But for Liz, she said it was like with mayonnaise.
Yeah, lettuce, pear, mayonnaise, and then shredded cheese.
Shredded cheese.
Mavis texted and said, Miracle Whip is what they used, and it makes all the difference in a pear salad.
I'm hearing Duke from some people.
Yeah, I mean, Duke's is the way. I'm just saying.
See, she likes Dukes.
And then Dorothy, not on a pear though, Dorothy texted and said, okay, first of all, you got to have that half a cherry on top of the pear
Wait
salad.
a minute, now there's a cherry?
Now there's an addition. I don't remember the cherry.
Sounds like a joke.
No.
Put a cherry on top.
And then switch the mayo if you want a healthier version. Put yogurt. I'm down with the yogurt.
Well,
on
that
a
kind of
pear.
makes sense.
That makes sense. And then you do reduced fat cheese. I would leave the
okay.
cheese off, but
Yeah, well, wrap the pear in a cheese and spread the mayonnaise, and you got yourself a little cheese
and it's
pear.
a white bread.
Yeah, there, you know what? There. Woo,
That
that's
just went way
tasty
wrong.
there. Okay, what do you say, Teresa?
That is always something that has always been on our Thanksgiving and Christmas tables. I love it. My mom used to make it. I make it now.
This goes way beyond school lunches now to the Christmas and Thanksgiving tables and the feast.
Much of a staple as the turkey and dressing.
So what does it taste like when you dip a pear in mayonnaise?
I don't know. It may be the sweet and the savory together that makes it good, and then the cheese on top.
Liz is having gag reflexes right now.
Yeah. All I can think is it's the mayonnaise that's throwing me, and I'm just like, huh.
Oh, you just have to try it.
That little green emoji face, that is me right now.